Some of you may have met my little pet possum before. We're going to sing the Namaste song to welcome everyone who's watching the video. Ready? Haribo Namaste, Haribo Namaste, Haribo everyone and Haribo Namaste. Namaste everyone. Well, this video is going to be focused on Lord Rama and Hanuman. Possum here has something she would like to ask me. What is it, Possum? What would you like to know?
Who is Hanuman?
Oh, okay. Well, where shall I begin? There is a lot of ways to answer that question, Possum. But I'll answer it with a few things that I have read from a book. The oldest information that we have on Hanuman comes from the Ramayan, which was written by the sage Valmiki. It is said that Valmiki's Ramayan has 24,000 verses. That's a really big number, isn't it?
It is so much.
It is so much. A long time ago in this very earth, there were monkeys in the race of half man and half monkey called Vanaras. You can see in the pictures here. Hanuman didn't just have any ordinary father. His father was the wind god himself, Vayu, and he was a very powerful demigod. Hanuman was a very naughty little monkey, and he caused havoc everywhere. He had certain mystic powers too, because remember, he was the son of Vayu. Once he mistook the sun for a piece of fruit, and he flew up towards the sun. And at that time, King Indra was flying past, and he saw that someone was coming to attack the sun. So he knocked Hanuman out of the sky with his weapons, and Hanuman fell down to the earth and hit the ground hard. And he broke his jaw. This is what gave him the name Hanuman, because in Sanskrit, Hanu means jaw. After that, Hanuman still got into a lot of trouble with his mystic powers. So the sages were wondering what to do. The sages were also living in the forest with the Vanaras very peacefully. So they thought, we're going to cast a spell on Hanuman so that he forgets that he has any powers, and we're going to take them away from him temporarily. Hanuman then studied lots of scriptures, and he learnt lots of things from the sun god himself. He became very, very knowledgeable and was a great Vanara. Just to tell you a little bit more on Hanuman before we read the Rama story. The main thing to remember about Hanuman is his great devotion for his Lord Rama. And many people pray to him for lots of reasons. And he is certainly a person of great devotion. So let's go read the story, shall we? This is the story of Lord Rama and Hanuman, Lakshman and Sita. A very long time ago, Lord Krishna took birth on this planet as Lord Ramachandra. To Ayodhya's great king Dasarath was born a princely boy who would put an end to wickedness and give all the people joy. His skill with bow and arrow brought him everlasting fame, and all the world now knows that Ramachandra was his name. To win the hand of Sita, many noble kings had come, but failing this tremendous task, their plans were all undone. Young Rama, all-powerful, with his greenish hue aglow, just like an elephant breaking sugarcane, he cracked Lord Shiva's bow, and he won the hand of the beautiful Sita. Ayodhya's ruler was Dasarath, and he was bound by his wife's demands, and he was forced to banish Rama, to send him from the land. Prince Rama never saw his noble father from that day, for in his grief at Rama's exile, King Dasarath passed away. Accompanied by Sita, his chaste and faithful wife, Lord Rama left Ayodhya to live a forest life. Amidst the shady trees they dwelled, no jewels or crowns or throne. For 14 years they wandered, and the land became their home. As Taraka, the demon witch, was flying in the sky, she terrorized and terrified all of the people passing by. To please the sages, Rama went to fight this dreadful foe, and the demoness was killed with just one arrow from his bow. The demon, Marichi, in the form of a golden deer, came dancing through the forest till Queen Sita saw him near. "Oh, please bring me that pretty creature," gentle Sita said. With bow in hand, Lord Rama left and followed where it fled. On seeing innocent Sita, now alone and unaware, on a chariot pulled by asses and flying through the air, came 10-headed Ravana, the evil demon bold, who stole away Queen Sita to his kingdom made of gold. Far up in the sky, Ravana's chariot flew, but he was attacked by the great eagle Jatayu. Jatayu fought with all his strength to defend the maiden fair, but Ravan cut his wings and body until he fell from the air. Rama and his brother Lakshman searched the forest far and wide, but in spite of all endeavours, no Sita did they find. Then came one servant, Hanuman, the valiant monkey king, who vowed to search the land and air till Sita he did bring. No one knew how they would get over the sea to go and search Lanka for Sita Devi. But by the grace of Lord Rama, Hanuman remembered he had special powers. And Jambavan, who knew the story the whole time, told Hanuman the whole story about his birth and about how he had lost his powers. So they all said, "It's up to you, Hanuman. You have these special powers that you can fly through the sky because you're the son of the wind god." Hanuman was amazed to hear this story. And so then he made his body absolutely gigantic, and he climbed up a mountain and he leapt into the air. Yes, just like that possum. And he flew through the air over to Lanka and landed in Lanka. And then he made his body really, really, really small, like a tiny monkey, and jumped from tree to tree looking for Sita Devi. He found Sita Devi in one of the beautiful gardens on Sri Lanka, and she was heavily guarded by the Rakshashis, which were the servants of Ravana. She was sitting there looking very distressed. Hanuman climbed down, and then he gave her something. He gave her Rama's ring, which Rama had given to Hanuman before he left, to prove to Sita that Hanuman was a messenger from Rama himself. Sita Devi was so relieved. And then she said, "Thank you so much, and please help yourself to all these delicious fruits that are in this garden." Hanuman became very excited and jumped from tree to tree, eating the fruits. But then he was caught by Ravana's army. They then put him in ropes and then set his tail on fire. But he shrunk and made himself so small that he got out of the ropes and jumped from building to building, setting Lanka on fire. Then he flew over the high seas again and landed back where Rama and Lakshman and all the Vanaras were waiting for him eagerly to hear the news of Sita Devi. They were very excited to hear that she was safe, and they had to make plans to cross. How were they going to do it? The monkey soldiers laboured hard to build a bridge of stone. Their aim to cross the ocean and reach the demon's throne. To serve their Lord Ramachandra any hardship was a pleasure, and even the tiny spider came to help in their endeavour. On reaching Ravana's kingdom, Rama's monkeys conquered all, and the evil demon ruler saw his splendid city fall. His eyes ablaze with anger, his angry arrows flew, but Lord Rama's mystic arrows split the demon's heart in two. Lord Rama rescued Sita from her loneliness and fright, flying in a flowered airplane from the dreadful battle site, and like the moon in splendour Ramachandra journeyed home. His banishment now over, he returned to claim his throne.
Sitaram, Jaya Sitaram, Raghupati Raghava Rajaram. Sitaram, Jaya Sitaram, Raghupati Raghava Rajaram. Katit Pavana Sitaram, Katit Pavana Sitaram.
So we're going to get all crafty now. Do you like doing crafts? Do you like doing crafts? Yes. Well, watch out, Joshy, because scissors are sharp, aren't they? They're very big scissors for a little boy. We're going to be making some puppets for the story of the Ramayana. So we're going to have a Rama and a Lakshman, and you can print these out after you've watched the video.
Ah, you're me.
So we're going to have Rama, Lakshman, Sita, and of course Hanuman. If you print more of the Hanuman templates, then you can make a whole monkey army and play with them. So the first thing we need to do for our awesome puppets is get all our materials together. They don't have to be just puppets. They can be made into dolls as well. We just need 3 of these. And what are these?
Don't know.
Oh, well, toilet paper used to be on this. This is a toilet paper tube. So when all the toilet paper's all finished, you can grab these. Ask your mum or dad to save them for you for your crafts, because they make a really good base for this particular puppet. When you've made your puppets, you see, you can put your fingers in the middle of the tube and then you can work your puppet. The first thing we need to do is get colouring, everyone. So you could watch the video and watch me colour in, and then afterwards you could do your own. You could put about 3 fingers in there, and there he is. Bring it up to the camera, and there's your Hanuman, and he's got a little tail too, hasn't he? So we're going to start colouring in now. Now we're all ready to go. So I'm going to start with my Sita. You can do whatever colours you like on yours. I'm going to be using a nice pink for her sari. This part here can also be coloured pink. Now we can see that we've got the pink and the blue, and she's got a necklace on here which I'm going to colour yellow. And now for her skin. There we go. Nice and simple. Now I'm going to go and colour in the other ones. This is such a nice bright yellow. And I'm going to give him a belt. I might give him a blue belt. Now I'm going to do his body. I don't actually know if Hanuman is brown or white. I've seen pictures of him drawn with brown fur, and I've seen pictures of him drawn with white fur. But for this puppet, I'm going to do brown. And now for the face. When we cut the tail out, we're going to colour in the other side as well, because you're going to see both sides of the tail. So there's our Hanuman. And now for Rama and Lakshman. They're a bit smaller. And now for his face to match. This part says glue, because it's going to be glued onto the cardboard. But I'm going to colour it in anyway, because I'm not sure which part will be showing. And there we go. Now we've upped it over to the clothes for him as well. I'm going to do him wearing yellow as well, but just a slightly different yellow. Lakshman's always with his brother, and he carries a bow as well in his hand. Well, there we go. I was thinking that I might colour in the backgrounds blue. It would look quite nice. And there we go. It's now time to cut out. I'm going to turn it over now, put the glue on the other side, and then roll it around. This part's quite fun. Round and around. And it may or may not go all the way. That doesn't matter. So now we have Lakshman, and we're going to be putting the glue where it says glue. It's so sticky. And we're going to carefully place that into the inside of the tube. The part here is a little bit trickier, and you may have to adjust it. So I'm going to cut in here and in here, because you can see it just didn't look quite right. Trimming those little bits in there to make the neck thinner, and then the hair can come out on the outside. And I'm putting my finger in there, and I'm just going to smooth that down inside. There we go. And there's our Lakshman doll. And remember, you can use him as a puppet. He looks good, doesn't he? I'm going to pop Lakshman over there. And now I'm going to do my Rama doll. Same thing, cut him out. And now for the neck. Again, lining it up and placing your finger inside to smooth it out. And there's our Lord Rama, looking very handsome. His brother, Lakshman. And now for the glue. And now for Hanuman. So now I've got my 3 pieces cut out. We'll stick him on too. This one prints out a little bit bigger, so it fills the whole circle. Right, so now some glue. Now you can see that the Hanuman's face is way bigger. This is because he's in an animal body. I'm going to be, for this one, just putting some glue down the bottom, just around that part there. There he is. He's quite cute, isn't he? Jaya Hanuman. I hope you enjoyed watching how I made my puppets. Now it's your turn. After the video, you could download the link and then print out all the templates ready for you to do your craft time. And then you could use them to retell the story. Maybe you'd like to do a puppet show for one of your friends or your mum or dad. Remember the part when Hanuman got bigger and bigger and bigger, and then he leapt over the sea, and he went all the way to Lanka, and then he went to see Mother Sita. Sita was sitting down underneath the tree, and Hanuman came down in front of her. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, who are you? Because Sita had never met Hanuman before, and she was worried that he was one of those big nasty Ishvaras. But Hanuman reassured her and said, "Look what I've brought you. I have brought you Lord Rama's ring." And then she realized that no one could take Lord Rama's ring without giving the ring to them. So she trusted Hanuman and she said, "Thank you so much." And Hanuman gave her the message that Lord Rama had sent her. And then he jumped up on all the trees. I've got lots of trees in this picture behind me. And then he jumped up into the trees. And then he ate lots of fruit. But he made so much noise that he was captured by Ravana. Maybe you would be able to make a Ravana puppet as well. I didn't have time to make one, but it's not that hard. Who else could you make? Well, you could make Jambavan the bear, and you could make some more monkey warriors too, and then you would have so many. Hang on a minute, why don't you print out 3 or 4 of the Hanuman templates and make lots of monkeys to make a whole monkey army? Then you'll have lots of them to play with, won't you? The Kids Art Gallery. Let's have a look at some of your wonderful artworks. Here is Ishvara from South Australia. He's done a wonderful picture of Radharani from the Radharani drawing lesson. Haribo Ishvara Das, thank you for sending me your picture. And this is Gauravani Dasi from South Australia. She is Ishvara Das's sister. Look at her beautiful picture she has done of Radharani as well. Thank you for sending me that. It's very nice, Gauravani. This is Nitai Das. He is 3 years old. He's coloured in the picture of Trinavata. Great job, Nitai. This drawing has been sent in from Keshavi Dasi. She's drawn a picture of Radha and Krishna. They're looking rather cute. Thanks for sending it to me. This picture has been drawn by Radhi Dasi from the Philippines. Radhi Dasi is 9 years old. She's done a lovely drawing of Radharani carrying the garland, and look, she's done a parrot there as well. Haribol Radhi, and thanks for sending us your picture of Radharani. This photo is of Nitai Gordas holding his drawing. You can see here he's drawn a picture of Radharani holding a garland which she has made to offer to Krishna. Nitai Gordas made this for Radharani's appearance day. That's really nice, Nitai Gordas. Thanks for showing us. Hurry bowl, everyone, and keep up the great work.